Okay, I think we're live. Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Dave. You're watching Gaming with Dave. Today, we are going to be covering low GP flipping and really just chatting about how to go about that process. Now, we are doing this live, so if you're watching this after, that's why it's going to be a little stranger than a regular video. But I just want to share this with everybody here. So the flipping videos tend to do quite well. And everyone has this idea that, okay, I'm going to become a flipping RuneScape billionaire / trillionaire. I forget the name of the gentleman that I was watching on YouTube the other week. Oh, man. Can't remember to save my life. Anyway, apparently he's got multiple accounts, streams all the time, is super successful at flipping. And it was actually quite interesting kind of seeing how that whole process goes. So I figured that I would I would just kind of do what a lot of people want, and that is to start flipping with a lower amount of money. Now, I will say there are far more effective ways to make money when you only have 10 mil than flipping. Just to be very clear, I actually don't even condone flipping with this amount of money, but it can certainly be done. And so what we'll do is we'll get right into it. Now, flipping with lower amounts of money is going to be a little different than flipping with a larger cash stack. You're going to be using the same principles to do so, but the difference is going to be that you're going to want to try to target items that have high buy and sell limits, buy limits rather, so that you can do this flip over and over and over again once you find one that works effectively. So that's the whole idea. Good day. See, there's a new viewer on. Okay, so we've only got the 10 mil just to show you here. Let's go into the bank. You can see that I've only got 10 mil in my coin pouch. So let's see how high we can get it in the time that we have allotted to us. Unlike a lot of other videos, if things don't buy or sell quickly, normally I would let them run. Because we're trying to do this effectively with 10 mil, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, right? So first things first, we're going to look at magic logs. Magic logs can or can't, depending on the circumstances, be a wonderful flip. So let us do this. I'm just going to say live on YouTube. Say hi to YouTube. Okay. So our first sale's done. So this isn't so bad. It's a 15 GP profit. You're going to be subtracting 2 on either end, so 13. So there's a potential max profit of 300 and something K. So let's try it. The buy price of 441 is below the average sale, and the average sale is below the regular, the average, so this shouldn't be too bad. So we're not going to put too much cash into it. Let's do 1.3 mil here, and let's keep going. Another item that, well, honestly, we'll just stick with logs for now, because logs tend to have good buy limits. A lot of people train wood cutting, and things are always buying and selling and everything like that, right? Okay, so we've already got buys on our magic logs. So we'll sell this. Okay, sell 450, 454. Okay, let's check out the logs. Okay, wow. So this is great. 361 is going to be the buy. 440 is going to be the sell. This doesn't make me that nervous. So 361. It's slightly above the buy, but not too much. So let's do 3,000 a mil. Okay. Alrighty. Let's do let's do I'm gonna stick with the logs just because these are like lower priced items. They typically will tend to work out quite well. And items that can be decent. Let's. I'm just gonna go on the wiki here. So the wiki's your friend. you should always look at the wiki when you are doing your stuff. So pay to play woodcutting guide is where I'm going. And I'm just going to look at the order at which people actually do things. So regular logs, then they do oak trees. Okay, so let's try oak logs. These are $4.95. Okay. Regular logs are selling. Or rather buying. My bad. Okay. I'm just looking here. Okay, before I do that, I want to take a look at teak trees. Okay, so all of the magics have bought. None of them have sold, so we're going to start slowly lowering the price. At this GP level, you're better off doing more frequent flips, even for less profit. So, teak logs are used for nothing. Really? Teak pyre logs? Okay, so there is a little bit of a demand for teak logs. Okay, let's try teak. Teak log. Oh, they're selling for $151, so this might actually be a decent one. Just because we can get it for a lower price, making our dollar stretch a little better. 127, 135. Okay, so 128. Let's buy 3,000. With these, we actually can probably go up to 10. Okay, so regular logs we're selling for 440. 439. Perfect. Okay, magic log. Somebody just tested my buy, so they're gonna go for 4.5. They're gonna go to 4.53. So I'm gonna go down to 4.52. Cool. It's done. Alrighty. Now again, just to reiterate, you're probably better off doing something else for money at this level of money. Even if you were able to do all 25,000 of these on every level here, you'd probably only make maybe, I'm guessing here, but probably 2 or 3 mil of profit, which isn't bad. Don't get me wrong. When you can do all stacks all at once, all 25K right from the get-go, but otherwise it's going to be quite difficult. Okay, so let's look at a skill that's a little bit more useful for people as they're training it. So we're going to look at mining, because mining creates ores, which then ores create smithing, and smithing is used for some people to make money, and it's quite the money sink, so people don't mind spending money on the items. So I'm just going to take a look at some of the prices of ore prices. Okay. So let's look at coal, because coal is used in a lot of items. A lot of bars, rather. Okay. And it's relatively cheap for what it is. Okay, so 312 to 327, not bad. So 313. Let's do 3,000. Okay. So that's good there. And I think, give me a second. Oh, coal's already starting to buy. So go back in here, sell for 326. Perfect. Yeah, so that's the idea, right? High volume items, low price. Queue up as many as possible. the beauty of flipping and the reality behind this is I'm going through and I'm doing this actively, where I'm just basically bank sitting. Oh, the art just sold for a 326. So that's our first successful, well, I shouldn't say our first successful flip, but at least our fastest flip we've done so far, right? So, okay, so this is a really good point. Once you find an item that buys and sells relatively quickly, like focus on that one, right? So once these go through, we'll slowly but surely start focusing on the coal. We've got a lot of room to exploit on coal. The maximum profit here is 326 minus 313 times 25,000. So it's about 325K of total profit, which again, might not seem like much. But when you start being able to do these cash stacks more and more frequently, it works out very, very well. So I'm not liking the speed at which these magic laws are selling, and you can see that the price was tested at the 901. The reason why there's a 1 there is because somebody went and tested that price. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop this to 450. 450 I think is going to be the lowest price, because if I recall, we bought these for 441. Yeah, so we bought a bunch of these for 441. So 450 is going to be my low price there. Coal is buying really, really quick, which is nice. It's also selling relatively quick as well, which means you could actually probably get a little bit higher margin out of it, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. It's not completely called for. Logs, I don't like that. There's quite a bit of wiggle room here, so what we're going to do is we're going to drop this down to 430. Leave it like that. Okay. There we go. Yeah, the coal is just buying like crazy, which is good. That's what you want, right? Okay, so along the lines of coal then, because we're seeing that this stuff's moving really quick, and coal I think would have a very, very, very high demand on it just naturally because it's used for other items. I believe that luminite is also used for the same type of purpose. It's required to craft adamant bars and rune bars, which I think is where people would spend a lot of time at. So let's look at these. These are going to be a little bit more expensive, so we're hoping for... margin really doesn't matter all that much, because if it buys and sells really quick, then it's not going to be that big of a deal to spend a little bit more money on it. Okay, there we go. We just had a whole bunch of things sell. Okay, so there's 20 GP difference, and it's under the buy, so I'm okay with that. 10, 11. It's going to be 10, 11. We'll start with, let's see, can we do 1,000? Yeah, we'll start with 1,000, and then we'll go from there and see exactly what. Okay, coal is bought completely. Okay, so we'll see how coal sells. Okay, canceling out my teak because they're just not buying. I'm going to set up another buy order for coal because that just seems to be moving really quick. We'll do 10,000 this time, which is using quite a bit of our cash reserves, but the coal does seem to be moving relatively quickly, so that won't be too bad. I don't know what sold there. It's 430. Okay, so log. So somebody just tested our log price at 430. So again, they tested it at 430, so they're going to go to 429, so we're going to go to 428. Just to be clear, I don't actually recommend you do what I'm doing right now. With these types of items, the chances that basically people are going to be buying and selling these things constantly, which means that you don't really have to play with the price too much. You know, spend an hour and a half before you switch over prices. The only reason I'm switching prices is because it's a lower cash stack. I want to move my money faster. I'd rather make less money more often than a lot of money less frequently. So that's kind of the mindset there, right? So we'll see what happens. I don't have much space left because, okay, so there we go. Okay, yeah, we can try one more item here. Let us look at, let's look at some ancient gravel. I never flipped this before. I think it would flip well because I think it's an item that many people get often. But we shall see. Okay, it's not too bad. So 526. We'll buy 1,000 of it just to see how it moves. Cool. All right. So let's look at so someone said that I can check my current orders in the wealth evaluator because it'll tell me grand exchange offers. So I don't know how accurate this is going to be. Because I don't know if this is based on average prices or actual orders or whatnot. Yeah, who knows? Anyway, doesn't really matter. We shall see where it goes. Okay. Cool. There. Our regular coal just completely sold. Okay. So coal seems to be doing very well. We knew that. But it's just something to be aware of. Perfect. Alrighty. Magic logs just sold. That's perfect. More regular logs. So I'm going to stop buying regular logs for just a bit. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do something that's probably a little silly in the flipping community. I'm going to undercut by a significant margin. I'm hoping everything moves a whole lot quicker. Okay, ancient gravel is not buying at this price. Coal is buying phenomenally well, or rather selling phenomenally well. So let's look at some other stuff. I haven't, I would suspect gems probably sell fairly well. You know, you think of, you know, like a red topaz. Let's look at a red topaz, uncut red topaz. Let's see what the margins are on these. And I'm just on the, for people wanting to know where I'm finding these, I'm just on the wiki, looking at ore prices, and this was one of them that showed up, right? So, okay, so let's buy them for 701, 1,500 of them. So theoretically, if this flip would go through, I would more than double my money. Theoretically, it's not going to work because I think there's a reason why there's these type of margins, but we can certainly try it, right? Okay, let's look for something else. Okay. So, I don't know if essences, so pure essences, I don't know if these will have an upper and a lower buy limit. I've never tried them. We'll see. It's unlikely. but you never know. Oops. Okay. Yeah, all right. So, given the volume of these, I think I'm going to go max. 54 GP. Who knows? I don't know if it'll flip well. I really don't. But heck, we'll try it, right? The worst that's going to happen is we'll lose a little bit of money. Okay. Logs. I want my money back. Bought those for 361. There we go. We're going to drop these significantly just to get our money back, hopefully fairly quick. Let's look up some other ideas. Wiki. Yep, coal. Coal's very, very nice. So, give me a second. Oh, okay. Topazes apparently did sell for that low. Let's see if they buy really quick. So are we getting some red topazes that are buying not super quick, but relatively quick compared to some other things that we've done? Alrighty. Let's go for fletching supplies. So rune arrowheads, maybe. So 118. Okay. I need these logs out of here. What did we buy these regular logs for? 361. Okay. I want them out of here. Okay. Coal. Man, coal is just going like crazy. Alrighty, a rune arrowhead. So, rune arrowhead, often trained for fletching. People buy them in bulk quite often to have a big stack of them over time. Prices are relatively stable for what they are. So, we should... yeah. I guess if we... yeah, no. Don't like it. I do not like it. Log starting to sell, finally, after we've reduced the price by a significant amount. Okay. More coal. We just had some topazes buy. Okay. Somebody tested the coal price. It's you that's watching. You tested the coal price, didn't you? All right, let's another archaeology arc materials. I don't think any of these will be the best flips just because they're probably a little slow. And the prices are quite high on them, to be quite honest. Yeah, so somebody just tested my price on coal and on the sell. So I bet you we're going to stop seeing buy and sells. Given how fast it's moved, I'm not overly concerned about it, but it's just something to note, right? Okay, so we shall try our hand at doing... well, first of all, we haven't got a single pure essence buy, so it's out of here. And that doesn't shock me either. So let's do some Samite Silk. A little more expensive. So I think this is going to be a good flip for a couple of reasons. So one, actually mining these materials takes a ridiculously long time. And a lot of people, especially if people are higher levels, they're just going to go ahead and buy these things. They're not going to excavate them. And Samite Silk and oh man, what's the other one? Basically the ones in Al Kharid. I forget the name of them right now. I do apologize. They're entry level, which means you're going to see a lot of people try to unlock the associate level, which requires digging up 250 damaged relics or artifacts or whatever they're freaking called. And so you're typically going to need these more than a lot of other types of materials, at least under that logic. So we'll see where that goes. Okay, so we've got those. Okay. I think we've got a pretty good setup now. We'll wait a bit. What's old? More topazes. Whoa, not 14,000. Okay. So just want to take a look here. Okay. Yeah, so it says we've made 78K in profit so far. Again, this is why you really should do other methods for flipping, other than at this level, right? When you've got even say 100 mil, 150 mil, you can easily make an effective hourly profit of like 10, 15 mil an hour, quite easily doing flipping. But at this level, like you're going to be hard pressed to get some good profits out of this, only because of the fact that stuff just doesn't move fast enough while you're looking at the screen. If you wanted to take 10 mil and just go about and do flipping while you're training and stuff like that, go to town. Like, this isn't going to hurt an extra 100K, 200K for taking 2 seconds to put a buy order up, right? That's easy. But otherwise, it's just going to be a mess, and I don't want you all to waste your money and your time with all of this, right? It's just not worth it. So, long story short, don't do 10 mil. Anyway, everyone, typically I stream for a little bit longer in the mornings, but I think for this topic of the day, I think we've proven the point that flipping with a lower cash stack, 10 mil, 20 mil, probably even 30 mil, just is going to yield you very limited results. So I don't recommend you do that. I recommend that you save up some money. So long story short, what I recommend you do, go check out my beginner money making guides. A lot of things you can do in this game with very little requirements can make you $1 million an hour at the very, very least, if not $2 million an hour. Go do those things. And honestly, if you just spent 10 hours playing the game, you'd probably be able to unlock things that make you 4, 5, 6 mil an hour. Go do that for 3, 4 hours. Once you've got a good enough money stack, you can start doing this on the side. Don't focus on it, and then slowly but surely over time, you'll just get better and better and better and better, and it'll work out better and better and better, right? So everyone, I am going to duck out for the day. You all enjoy. Have fun. Hopefully you learned not to flip with 10 mil. Bad idea.